All right, 4 o'clock. I know we got more draft calls to get to, but we at least want to mix this in because it is newsy. And I'm not going to be careful how I talk about it because it doesn't matter. Rico and I were just talking about this. We were comping it out how Deuce Vaughn's father had to leave the room every time the Cowboys talked about his kid. He works for the team as a part of their college scouting department. His son was a star at Kansas State. And I said how stupid it was. He had to recuse himself. Well, they're going to talk about your kid as a part of the process.
Right.
Yeah, he's short. What are you going to say? So Rico made the joke, well, it's like, if we talk about state and people are just going to, and I go, I don't care. You don't recuse yourself from it. I don't give a damn. I rip state's ass. But what I'm not going to do is just get into this weird, it's almost like psychotic by some of you.
Beyond psychotic.
Okay, I think some of you hate Mel Tucker more than Satan. Now, whether it's the money, whether it's something more insidious, or whether you just think he's a bum. I really don't care because I've kind of largely tuned it out. Here's the reality. Win games, keep job. Lose games, lose job. They got to look a lot better this fall. Well, the news broke. The portal was closing last night.
Right.
MSU lost 3 starters. And there is no spit shining a turd and telling you that somehow they're in a better place today. No, I'm never going to be that guy. But the way that this stuff, Spartan fans, grow up. They're acting like a bunch of bitches. These are the first starters MSU has lost to the portal. Full stop.
Yeah.
Since the portal's inception. Now, part of that is the roster's largely been ass. But you know what the other part of it is? They've been paying guys. They've been keeping guys. Do you know how many times they had to keep Keon Coleman? 3 different times they've had to fend off other teams.
While he was on the MSU roster.
And they signed the check. They got him taken care of. You know what? At a certain point, if a guy doesn't want to be there, what am I going to do? I don't begrudge Keon. If all of a sudden Keon Coleman pops up tomorrow and he's playing for USC, what am I going to say? The point is, that's not a Mel Tucker thing. Now, Peyton Thorne's in a quarterback competition. Half of you people wanted the kid gone anyway, so I don't know what you're squawking about. But he was in a competition, and from the sounds of it, may or may not have liked looking over his shoulder. What am I going to do? He ain't good enough for me to pay him $1 million. I like Peyton. I think Peyton played hurt last year.
And it really was. I think he was going to win the job, but the entire year, he can have a bad game. He can go out there and throw 2 picks knowing Noah Kim is warming up on the sideline,
so
and he didn't want to get Cade McNamara and end up on the bench.
Well, so here's my point. Both things can be true. Is it good to lose 3 starters? No, of course it isn't. But the idea that we've just found Santa Claus dead, naked, and cracked out in the middle of the road and shutter the program, man, some of you guys are such clown asses. I can't even verbalize it. It's hilarious to me. Michigan loses a senior safety and nobody says boo because alleged superstar McStardom, his backup, is going to be amazing. They lose a team captain, throw him in a garbage can, nothing. They lose an NFL caliber tight end, nothing. Guys.
The 2 captains are now at Iowa.
Right. The portal takes players from everybody. MSU finally lost a couple of starters. Well, you know what? It's a part of the deal. I can't cry about it.
Yeah, and the whole, what's going on with Tucker in the program? Nothing. Money. That's really what this all boils down to. It's the dirty side of college sports that a lot of people don't want to admit because you all like to think that players just want to play for your alma mater or your favorite team. You still have some players like that, but a lot of the top players are now thinking this is a year-to-year type of thing. Scholarships are year-to-year, and so am I. And I'm going to find the best deal for myself.
That's where we arrive at solutions. I know if you listen to this show, you know I'm going to sound repetitive. I've told you the portal's completely out of control. The first year of the portal, there were about 1,600 kids in it. Currently, there's north of 3,200 kids in the portal. It's outrageous. It's silly. Now, look, if a kid's a backup, he wants more PT, I get it. Transfer. Go get a better opportunity. Now, we saw a Biletnikoff winner in Jordan Addison decide, I'm just going to go to USC.
Yeah.
Money. Bottom line is this. That's the way it's going to be. We all have to get used to it, but we don't have to like it. On a certain level, and talking to Kenny about it pre-show and Jimmy, they're Georgia fans. there's an idea that, yes, money matters. I have no problem with that. But kids go to the school because at one point or another, one level or another, they wanted to be there. Mm-hmm. Now, that's gone. Period. This is the NFL. Players will move their wife and kids to a city they don't want to be in for the money.
But, Mike, it's funny you mentioned Georgia because the same thing happened to Georgia. Bear Alexander was the next in line to be the Jalen Carter replacement, like how Jalen was the Jordan Davis replacement. He goes into the portal, pops up at USC. Not only that, but his dad was at the USC spring game. Don't know why he was there. Maybe he just likes sunny California. Mm-hmm. But kid ends up transferring from Georgia.
He was collecting the envelope.
To USC.
Yeah, he was going around with the basket like at church. Hold on. Put that envelope right here. So, look. You want to say it hurts MSU? Yeah, I'm cool with that. Yeah. I can't tell you it's great now, but Rico, you put it best. Look, if Mel Tucker wants to be this guy who's going to bring MSU to the modern era of football, okay, well, A, he's done a good job hanging on to players. I can criticize a lot of the other stuff. Go out and go get more players now. Yeah. Like this week, you told me they're bringing in an Alabama wide receiver. Okay, right. Great. Like that's the stupid part of all this. It's stupid that players can bail post-spring ball for an envelope.
It's free agency.
And then you and I get to talk about, all right, well, whose milk are we going to steal? That's not what college football is beyond recruiting.
Mike, it's free agency. And right now, either you're the hunter or you're dinner. Plain and simple. If you're not out there trying to play the game, right, you're going to get poached left and right. So you have to be willing to set aside your pride and do something that you may not agree with. But Mike, Davis stole my lunch. I got to steal yours.
Right. It's just, and again, if you want a deeper dive into it, grab Rico's podcast, right, 5-Star Zone. It's a good 30-minute deep dive into the whole thing. I'll try to keep it surface.
And Charles Brantley, Evan brought this point up, but it was a great point. Probably one of the reasons he left, too, was he's an NFL corner stuck on a defense that ranks 107.
Right. And listen, I'm not mad at the players.
Yeah.
I cannot understand your choice and not be angry. I'm not mad. If Keon's got a Mill 5 waiting for him at a school, what am I going to say? Go.
Yeah, maybe it looks like he wants to go to a quarterback that's going to be up for a Heisman. I get it. Peyton Thorne, every Spartan fan should be happy because that's all I ever heard was, why is this guy still the quarterback? Well, he left.
I'm not happy because I think he got a bit of a raw deal. He played hurt last year. He's a tough kid. I like him. But I'm not going to sit here acting like we lost. I don't know, man. Just pick. I like he's not an NFL quarterback.
He's not Caleb Williams.
No, clearly. So, football perspective, am I going to care about it in a year? Well, if they win games, no. If they lose games, yes. What I have a problem with is MSU finally gets bit by the portal, and it's like there's always got to be something more to it. It's this bizarre thing. Whoa, what's going on in Eastland? Nothing. Right. We lost players to the portal. Christ. I mean, I watch schools left and right get poached. The entire Virginia offensive line transferred out last year.
The entire Colorado roster left.
I'm just making...
Right. No, I understand what you're saying.
It's like it can be... Spartan fans need to grow up and learn this is the world we're living in. So Tuck makes all the money. He's got to fix it. I just boil it down to no matter how good the recruiting is or the portal or what you're getting, what you're losing. I said to you, I don't love some of the staffing stuff here. I didn't like the offseason they had. Losing Marco Coleman, losing Brandon Jordan. Fine. Hey, where they lost or they got rid of their GM of personnel, whatever that position is. Okay. Because what did I say to you? This fall, they either win or they don't. That's all I care about. Yeah. Do I like what I'm seeing? Not necessarily. No. But I'm not going to sit here and act like there's this other, oh, my God. What do you mean, oh, my God? If you're doing this routine,
man,
then you're not paying attention to college football.
If losing 3 players means that your program is done, then you didn't have a program.
Well, that might be true too after going 5-7. But look, man, I just view it like it's more bizarre if you don't have a lot of attrition than if you do. And think about it. The portal started in 1819. Not the year, I'm saying the count, you know what I mean? Not like I
was like, wow.
Yeah, no, not like a Yellowstone spinoff. I just, MSU finally has lost starters to the portal.
Red Grange just entered the portal.
John Dutton the fourth. I'm just not going to freak out about it. I can't. Now, if they open the season, they don't have any wide receivers, they don't bring anybody in, well, then it's a different conversation. But I still think this boils down to some of the dumbest stuff in history. It boils down to people don't like the way Tuck operates, they don't like the money he makes, and they want this guy burnt to the ground. Yep. They don't want this guy here. There's a weird obsession. It's half the Spartan fan base, and it's the entire Michigan world. You guys are killing everybody, and yet the biggest hard-on-you sprout is for our coach. It's the weirdest thing in the world.
Well, you know why? In 2 years, if things go their way, they will loosen up the rim. But right now, he's got a winning record against them, and that bothers them.
Okay.
No. That's why. Oh,
tell you what, I'll lose to Michigan the next 10 years if I can make the playoff twice and win the Big Ten. Okay? It doesn't matter.
I understand.
It doesn't matter.
I understand. The state, I mean, he was offered a job. What was he supposed to do? Say, no, don't give me the pay raise because the fans will hate me? Nah.